So are you also still generating the episode concepts manually? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to build an AI agent to auto-generate Google Sheets episode concepts. So over here I'm running a YouTube channel and we regularly post podcasts on that channel. And to generate the episode concepts for all of my podcasts is such a time-consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where as soon as I'm just going to add the theme in my spreadsheet, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the podcast ideas, which is the episode concepts. Further, I can add that back into my Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, and then Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we're going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So in this video, I'll walk you on how to build an AI agent that automatically generates podcast episode concepts like the title, key talking points, segment ideas, and the call to action. So instead of manually thinking all of this, you just have to focus on recording great content, and all of this would be done in backend. So let's dive in and supercharge your podcast planning. And to get started, let's say I'm just going to start with a really simple example. Let's say that I'm just going to enter a guest name right over here, and now what is going to happen is that my AI agent is going to generate me the episode title, the key talking points, the segment ideas, and the call to action related to same right over here, and automatically add all of these details right over here into my spreadsheet. And yes, you can see it has generated me the details within seconds and added these details right over here in my spreadsheet. You can see the episode title, the key talking points, the segment ideas, and the call to action. So as you can see that within seconds the episode concepts has been generated and added right over here, that too without any manual intervention. So yes, now further my team can review it right from here and we can work accordingly further. So yes, this is no magic, this is the power of automation. And if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, we are simply going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and in order to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect, we are going to open a new tab and we're going to look for pabbly.com/connect in our browser. So I'm simply going to search for pabbly.com/connect in my browser, and now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect. And now after opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, over here we have two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I can simply click on this button right over here which says sign in, and now it is opening all Pabbly apps. And now over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account, and now it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as this: how to build an AI agent to auto generate Google Sheets episode concepts. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create, and now it is opening the most amazing and the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, we are simply going to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it right over here. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row. And now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are simply going to copy this webhook URL and then we have to follow this help text. So I'm just going to simply open my Google Sheets. Now from here we have to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then we have to go towards this get add-ons. And after coming over here towards this get add-ons, what we have to do is we have to search for an app right over here, which is Pabbly Connect webhooks. So I'm simply going to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here, and as you can see the same, so I'm simply going to open it. So as you can see that I have already installed this extension, but if you haven't installed this extension, you can definitely install the extension right from here. And once you install this extension, you simply have to refresh your spreadsheet. It is a really important step to refresh the spreadsheet, otherwise you'll not be able to get the option of Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here in your extensions tab. And after getting this Pabbly Connect webhooks option, we have to go towards this initial setup button given right over here. And now after coming over here towards this initial setup, it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. So we are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow right over here for the webhook URL. And now for the trigger column, I'm simply going to keep it as A. So the trigger column will be your final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards your webhook URL. So what I want is that as soon as I add the topic or the guest name in my spreadsheet, automatically the details should be sent towards my webhook URL. If you want to add 2 or 3 details, you can keep the trigger column as B or C2 right over here. I only want to get these details, which is the guest name and the topic, towards my webhook URL, so I've entered A, because rest of the details would be generated with the help of my AI agent. And I'm simply going to click on this submit right over here, and now it is saying setup configured successfully. So with this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what we have to do is, I'm just going to open my spreadsheet. From here we have to go towards this extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, and then now we simply have to switch on this button which is send on event. So it is a really important step to switch on this button which is send on event, because upon switching on this button, whenever a new event is going to occur in the spreadsheet, automatically the workflow is going to get triggered. Alright, so now after switching on this button, we are ready to do the test submission. I'm just going to enter the topic or the guest name right over here. Alright, so I'm simply going to enter the details right over here. And as you can see that I've successfully entered the detail right over here. And now what has happened is that this topic has been sent towards my webhook URL. So I'm simply going to open my workflow, and yes, over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. You can see the same topic or the guest name has been captured as a response right over here in my Pabbly Connect's workflow. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this trigger step, and now what is going to happen is that whenever I add a new topic or a guest name right over here in my spreadsheet, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered. Now we're going to move on forward towards our action step. I want to build an AI agent to auto-generate Google Sheet episode concepts. So for my action application, I'm simply going to select it as OpenAI, which is my AI agent. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect right over here. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. Alright, so I'm simply going to go towards this OpenAI API key page to get the API key. Now after coming over here towards this page, I'm just going to simply click on this create new secret key button, and now it is asking me for the key name. So let's say I'm just going to name my key as episode right over here. And after entering this key name, we are simply going to click on this create secret key button. Also, you have to select the project too. And now over here you can see that it has successfully generated me the API key. So I'm simply going to copy this key, and then we're going to paste this key right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this key, we are simply going to click on this button which says save. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So I'm simply going to select the AI model, which is GPT-4. You can select any another of your choice. And now it is asking me to enter the prompt. So I'm simply going to enter the prompt right over here. here. And as you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt right over here. And now for the details to use, I'm just going to enter the topic or the guest name, which is this. But I'm not going to enter this detail manually or by copy pasting it like this, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly, which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm simply going to map this detail and move on further and click on this save and send test request. And now my AI agent is going to generate me the episode concepts based on this detail which I've added right over here. And yes, we just have to wait for a few seconds till it is going to generate me the details. And as you can see, it has successfully generated me the details. Over here you can see the episode title, the key talking points, the segment and the call to action has been generated. So as you can see, with this we have successfully generated all of these details. And now I'm just going to add these details into my Google Sheets. For that, I'm just going to add another action step and select my action application as Google Sheets. And after selecting my action application for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as update a row. So I'm simply going to search for update row and select it right over here, and then we simply have to click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection. And now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now it is asking me to select my Gmail account with the help of which I want to connect my Google Sheets. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right over here. And as you can see that with this, now it is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. Over here for the spreadsheet, I'm simply going to select it as episode concepts. So I'm simply going to select the spreadsheet right over here. And now for the sheet, I'm simply going to select it as sheet 1. Now we're going to move on forward. Over here, I'm simply going to map the row index. And now we're going to move on further. It is asking me for many another details which are the columns of our spreadsheet. So I'm only going to fill in the details which I want to update, like the episode title, key talking points, segment ideas and call to action. Alright, so I'm just going to fill in these details one by one. First, I'm simply going to enter the episode title. We're going to move forward. I'm just going to enter the key talking points right over here. Next, I'm just going to enter the segment ideas right over here. Then we're going to move on further and I'm just going to enter the call to action right over here. And after entering all of these details, I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response that we have successfully added these details into our spreadsheet. And yes, over here you can see the details have been added. So yes, you can see within seconds in real time the details have been added, that too without any manual intervention. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this workflow and this video too. And now if you have any questions related to the workflow and the video, you can directly comment on this video. And now this workflow is going to run in backend. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. Like I showed you in the starting of this video, all of this is going to happen in seconds within real time. I only have to enter the guest name or the topic right over here. So yes, now go and try this amazing automation for your own business and see you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.